robust urban garlic flavor.
Okay, so the man who never does drama, the man who is not affected by anything that happens outside a stream, is now yelling at Asmongold on Twitter to answer his DMs and I should look at them because he has had enough of being called a joke. So yes, DSP has a cockroach infestation problem, but he's not going to do anything about it. That's actually going to work. He should ignore it, but it gets a rise out of him because he can't help himself. So let's see him crash out because of this. And there were many crash outs this week about this, but I just picked this one because if I did all of them, we'd be here for 2 hours.
Let's get some support. Let's go. It's been a great night, but man, I've only had one contribution in the last hour from Meconium. Are you kidding me? That's it? One contribution? We could do better than that. Let's get some super chats. Let's get some tips. Let's get some subs. Let's get some kicks. And for goodness sakes, let's get some memberships. What is going on? Let's go. You realize tonight, I don't think we have any subs, do we? I don't think we have any subs at all. No subs. No kicks and no subs? We've had no support whatsoever from the kick viewership tonight. For real? Zero? Have we, wait a minute. No, I got an honest question. Have we ever had a stream where I actually got zero support from Kick? Has this ever happened? I don't think so. I legit think at least I would get one sub or some kicks. We got zero. Let me confirm that. Maybe there were kicks and I missed them. No. Nothing? Wow. No support whatsoever from Kick. Well, I guess I'm just going to have to take away your moral support messages then. Let's start this whole thing back up again. Let's do it. Let's start the drama again so we get more morons quoting it and acting like it's real and acting like it's some big deal on the internet. Why not? Let's get some more idiots to talk about it, shall we?
Some people were telling me that he got reported a Kick for withholding moral support messages, and they essentially told him to put them back on, which would explain why he brought them back so quickly, but who really knows what happened behind the scenes.
I can't believe it. Not a single sub. Not a no kick. Well, okay, there were 10 kicks. That doesn't count. It has to be 100 kicks or more. No subs. Not 100 kicks. Absolutely ridiculous. No one contributed on Kick. We don't have time to talk about the creator of Mario, the legendary creator of Mario, the epitome of gaming excellence. We don't have time for that until a sub or a kick comes in here. All right? Then we could start talking about these menial, low-level topics. The most important topic must be discussed. For the love of goodness and everything wholly out there, how do we have no support on Kick tonight? Are you kidding me?
Oh my 220, these jokes that he tries to do to conceal his ebegging are just getting worse and worse. It's like he's completely given up trying to entertain his audience at any point in time because he knows they just want to see him beg like we do.
But you see, again, this is what I try to explain to outsiders to the situation, right? You and I, because you've been here all night and you know me, you know I'm messing around. Guys, we already hit the goal. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's crazy that we got no support on Kick. Actually, it is. I'm shocked that no one came by to chill with me tonight on Kick and support at all. It is shocking. But it's not the end of the world. I'm not going to sit here and cry. I'm not going to sit here and, oh, let me turn off features. I'm not going to do that. But we're joking. And, like, you get the joke. But the morons of the internet don't. So when someone will clip that segment and post it up on X again and be like, this is what happened tonight, these idiots will actually think that's what happened because they're that dumb.
Yep, that whole thing last Friday when he threw a tantrum when his Kick supporters would not give him 91 subs across 3 days didn't happen at all. That was just all a dream. He didn't throw a fit. He didn't ban the moral support messages. That was just all a joke. No, that was real. He's just trying to gaslight everybody now because it got a big thing. Asmongold found it, and now he's getting called out upon it. Which really, if he was any smarter, he'd realize who cares. But just because somebody has a number in front of their sub count, he thinks he needs to respond to it. He's dumb. And now he's trying to manipulate and lie to us, and it's like, you're only digging yourself in deeper. It's so obvious you're full of it. Like, we can tell the difference between when you're joking and when you're not because you're a terrible actor, Phil.
Number 2, over on Kick, we've got one person who supported all night, your future stepdad, and it was 1 sub. So from now on, I'm going to be very abundantly clear with all of you on Kick. Don't ever ask anything of me ever again. Don't ask for me to add you messages, new emotes, pop-ups, nothing. Because until people on Kick actually support the content, you get nothing. The YouTube side, you guys have been incredibly supportive and nice people. But the Kick side just sits here whining, complaining about things, wanting more, and doesn't support. So you get nothing, okay? Unless we get 50 subs by the end of tonight, now it will be 49. You're never getting text messages in your moral support ever again. So, you got an hour left. Get to it. Or shut the forever. We're not going to listen to your anymore. A lot of whiny people, demanding people who don't reciprocate. They're too lazy to take 10 seconds to look at the raw content and see what actually happened. They just want to be the one to blow up the drama for personal gain.
Phil, the issue is it's not 10 seconds, it is 6 streams worth of drama. That is a highlight I just showed you. About 1 minute of Phil ranting and raving. Could you tell the difference between that clip that was in grayscale versus the clip I showed you earlier? The first one was him joking. The second one was him dead serious. The funny thing about this is that Phil says he doesn't care what the detractors say about him, but when somebody with a large following dunks on him because we all see the same thing except Phil gets extremely defensive and has to respond to it. Much like he responds to the troll stuff on his level 1 podcast. But he's melting down because he's thinking, oh, this is going to make the sky fall because they, aka his fans, must watch this guy and must actually listen to him instead of, you know, the kettle over there.
Whether it's some Joe Schmo nobody who watches it and laughs, whether it's a YouTuber that watches it and laughs, it doesn't matter. You're watching fake content. But you don't care because you're dumb.
Okay, let me destroy Phil's stupid point of you have to watch 100% of his videos to understand him. If you were watching a movie, you can pick up on the vibe within 5 minutes. If you're watching a TV show, you could get a gist of what it's about by watching like 5 episodes. Phil doesn't think this applies to him because he wants to move the goalpost, and he wants you to sit through hours upon hours of meandering nonsense and boring, repeating schedules and things like that don't really have to do anything. It's just self-promotion. The main gist of his live streams is begging for money with gameplay used as filler to pretend he's actually doing something besides begging for money.
It's sad. This is what the entire generation has become of content creators, people who just make fake content. I watch something someone else made, I react to it, and it's nonsense because it's not real. The content you're watching is fabricated and fake. It's a joke. It's out of context. You think it's real because you're stupid.
You know, Phil could actually make a point here where Asmongold takes things like documentaries, reacts to them in a stream, posts the thing on YouTube with the same tags, basically the same thumbnail. And what happens is because his profile is larger than everybody else, those documentaries get deprioritized while his reaction to it gets the attention. So yes, Asmongold has a parasitic relationship with a lot of content creators, but with Phil, it's clips and stuff. You're not replacing DSP's content with a 1-minute clip because he puts out hours upon hours of video game playthroughs and podcast begging every single day. And the thing that Phil really flops here is he feels like he has to defend himself, and that's what gets him into trouble. He doesn't have to defend his e-begging to anybody. He's insulated himself. His whales don't care. So him going on these stupid tirades is just troll fodder for us to laugh at.
But now, because you have a following, Everyone hears it. Oh, ha, 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 ha. So funny. Now we hate that person. And now there's absolutely no responsibility and no repercussion for the person who reacted. Why?
I mean, Phil, play stupid games, get stupid prizes. You are a jerk to your fans, and that's what you get. People constantly clipping you, and people like me who make commentary videos, and then there are people who react to it. You are an endless source of how not to stream. You are not good at public relations whatsoever, or being positive to your chat. You are an infinite source of complaining and whining and moaning.
Why is there no responsibility and repercussion? You just created a piece of actual slander or defamation. Why are you not held accountable for it?
Yeah, so according to Phil, I'm misrepresenting his e-begging and whining and complaining by showing that he e-begs, whines, and complains because he doesn't do that the entirety of his stream. If he does it only 50% of his stream, that means he must not be any of those things. Phil, there are channels where the whole gimmick is to count how many times you beg in a stream, and those tallies go way up. And the pathetic part about this is Phil's whales probably don't care what Asmongold says, but you know Phil cares about what everyone thinks of him even though he vehemently denies it, because he goes on his soapbox and complains that everybody hates him because he's toxic and he e-begs and he whines and he's ungrateful.
Because you're some big shot? No, that. Everyone should be held accountable for their actions on the internet. Everyone, big, small. This is nonsense.
Yep, if you happen to stumble upon a Phil clip and laugh at it because his e-begging is unbelievable, his gameplay is so bad, and his crash outs are so funny, then you should go to jail for 20 years. That is basically what Phil is saying. Or I'm sorry, what Phil would like to happen.
And it's both that people then have to put up with the nonsense after.
Yep, Phil's having an entirely different week. It's not like people complain about what he does on a daily basis down to the microsecond. It's just when somebody big gets the attention, Phil gets very meek and pathetic. Come on, dude, you're whining about a guy who's a cockroach-infested house.
Lucky for me, as I've told you guys, I have built myself a legacy where it doesn't matter what people say about me, I'm not going to get canceled, right? It doesn't matter who, of any stature, it's moist critical, Asmongold, it doesn't matter who talks to me. I'm still going to be here tomorrow. I'm still going to make the content for you. You guys are still going to like it. You're still going to support it because you're here and you know who I really am and you don't care what these idiots say.
Oh, so you're giving me permission to go hard with you, Phil? You want some hard balls instead of slow, meandering softball pitches? Okay, then. I'll keep that in mind for later. Phil, the people that watch you like a hawk on Raw, Phil, and on Twitter clips, they know you better than you know yourself. They know who you are, regardless of how you want to cry about it, because you know it's not a very positive and meaningful picture.
But the common person doesn't. And then I get people who come by, they got to leave 100 nasty comments on my video. They start downvoting the video, the nonsense.
Yeah, this guy gets hundreds of comments on his 8 daily videos that all struggle to get 500 views. Sure, Phil. Yeah, the downvoting and the things like that have been happening for years. Way before all of this. You were so sensitive that you disabled your YouTube comments years ago. You like to reinvent stuff on the fly, don't you?
Again, when you say to me earlier, a legit fan earlier tonight said, I'm back for the first time in like 12, 13 years, and I wish you the best. I hope you'll grow. I'll never grow.
I like how Phil gets gaslit by his whale sock accounts into thinking that there are actually people that are watching Phil after a huge long hiatus and they're coming back and giving him money right off the bat. And also the people that come in and say, hey Phil, I found your content from the detractors, now I love you, here's some money, and then you never hear from them again. Yeah, that's all real, like hundreds of people supporting you. Sure, Phil. It's not like 5 whales with different sock accounts.
How can I grow when internet content creation in 2025 is we react to nonsense, we act like it's real, we don't care if we hurt someone in the process as long as we get clickbait views and we make money. No culpability, no accountability. Just say whatever the f you want, get away for it, right? Just get away with everything. Well, it's bullshit.
Yeah, I know. I do a really bad job with the clickbaiting, like this episode, where I tell you it's all fake content, except it's entirely real and I'm reacting to it. See, I don't get any culpability for that. I'm not held accountable. I like how everybody but Phil has to be held accountable. With Phil, there are no standards. He can do whatever he wants, but everybody else has to basically brown nose him, or he will call them a criminal.
It shouldn't be. There's content creators out there who are millionaires who shouldn't have a dollar because they made it on the backs of everyone else.
Phil, what do you think happened before the internet? Don't you think there were gossip people? Don't you think there were people begging for money? Don't you think they were scamming people? Of course. But we all know what you were arguing about is in relation to you. And that's why it doesn't hold a candle to anything, because we all know that you were full of it. This 20-minute thing is not taking you out of context. Well, you would go back and say, hey, you didn't see the whole stream, so it's not real. Okay, Phil.
I'm not saying that about Asmongold right now, because I know he's the one that this week reacted to me. I'm not saying that about him specifically. He's made content over the years.
Oh my 220. You absolutely are. Shut up, Phil. We can all see through the nonsense. You would not be having this meltdown if Asmongold did not do anything about you this week. If he didn't cover you, you would have been all hunky-dory and would have been complaining about something else.
He's earned where he is with his stature and all of that. But the fact I'm making here is that, the point I'm making here is you shouldn't have blatant, outright immunity. Just because you reached a certain point, now I'll just dump on anyone and I get popularity and money and everything from it. Why? What makes it okay?
Yeah, so Jay Leno, David Letterman, Stephen Colbert, any late night talk show host you can think of, they shouldn't be making fun of anybody. They should be just sitting there stone-faced, reading from a script about the most mundane things like the newspaper comics. If that's how you think life should work, Phil, you live a very dull, drab existence.
Some of the stuff that Asmongold reacted to legit is criticism, and that's fine.
That's fine. Now here's my 20-minute meltdown why I explained to you how it's absolutely not fine. He should be shutting up right now and only speaking about me in positive terms.
He shouldn't ever ask for this or that, right? But then he's watching a clip from 2009. That's completely out of context. That's the first time I've even shown my face on a stream. I'm not monetizing my content. I can't. And I'm saying to everyone, hey, if you guys wish to contribute, maybe you'd like to actually do like a PayPal contribution so I can afford games, so I can make you this free video that I make no money on. Oh, he's a generational roach. He's been begging for all this time. The f are you talking about? That wasn't even my job back then. But you're watching something out of context that people put out of context to make me look bad, but you think that's okay. It's not.
Okay, so here's the thing. He knows that his fans will take his word for it and not go back and see the actual context. Because I know exactly what he's talking about, and I'm going to show you it. And what he is saying here is complete lies. Or, like 90% lies. Alright, so looky here. This is a video DSP posted 16 years ago on one of his channels that he doesn't use anymore. So let's look at the 2 minutes where he talks about needing your money.
Hello everyone, DSP here. Bet you're probably shocked that we're finally meeting face to face.
Oh my god, he's fat!
But besides that, I do have a back injury. I don't know how I hurt my back. I have a severely herniated disc in my lower back.
He probably heard it lifting.
In addition to that, obviously I can't do anything like dance or do any kind of, strenuous physical activity like sports or anything like that. Just very basic stuff.
Well, I'm glad to say that the back issue is not as huge of a problem anymore because we've seen him dancing on camera and he is saying that he's been working out. We saw him do a total of 5 push-ups that were probably him on his knee, but that is physical activity. Good job, Phil. You recovered somewhat.
So pretty much since this injury came to light last fall, I tried to, figure out what am I going to do with my time because I can't go out much anymore. And so I decided to play video games. I mean, I love video games.
The tragedy now is that he's stuck playing video games because his whales pay for it and not much else. I mean, they'll pay for the begging, but if he's not playing games for like 3 days straight, the support will dry up.
Well, I don't care. I don't want to see someone just playing the game.
Wow, Phil in 2025 should really take the advice of Phil from 2009.
All these schlubs have been paid off by these game companies, and you can tell when you get a game like Little Big Planet.
This is hilarious, and it's only 10 minutes instead of the meandering 90-minute podcast.
Let's see. Well, today I actually got my first condo bill, my first bill from the mortgage company, and yeah, I'm a pants, I have to admit. It was pretty huge, and now realizing that I actually have to pay that amount every single month until I sell this condo eventually, a little bit scary of a
Well, I see he's already talking about his personal finances.
Oh, one more thing. All you idiots saying that I'm a morbidly obese, what are you, stupid? It's all for fun. It's all a joke. I just want to say thanks a lot to everyone. I hope to entertain you in the future. Please go to my partner channel, The King of Hate HD, and click on the ads that show up on the videos there, because hopefully, you know, fingers crossed, that actually starts giving me some money back for what I'm doing. I mean, it's not cheap to do what I'm doing. I bought a lot of games, a lot of equipment, and now I have my own condo, which is basically my studio, to do whatever the hell I want. So, you know, anything that you can give back is much appreciated. I also do have the PayPal donation on the left-hand side of my Dark Side Phil channel. It explains how to go to PayPal and what email address to send a donation to, darksidephil@hotmail.com. I've gotten many donations, and as I said before, if you send me a donation of, you know, $10, $15, $20 or more, I'll mention your name in a video because I do appreciate that. So, thanks a lot.
You know, the hilarious part of this is that he was not in financial distress. He had a job at this point, yet he's begging his fans for money through PayPal, and then he stupidly tells them to click on the ads. Now, the issue with that, why it's against YouTube's terms of service, is because if you have a bunch of people clicking on ads when they don't intend to buy anything, then those companies are going to go back to YouTube and say, I'm not paying the rates that you want me to pay for ads because I'm not getting the bang for my buck. I may be getting a lot of traffic, but nobody's buying anything. So yeah, Phil was an idiot. He's just trying to figure out how many ways he could get people to give him money. And it cost him because he has to be partnered with a network. Otherwise, he doesn't get any money. Now, the mystery about this is we don't know who he's partnered with currently. The one thing I could think that may be possible is maybe he's using an AdSense account where it's in Kat's name, but I don't know if he could connect it to his own channel, because this is really the one big DSP mystery that just intrigues me, because he's getting money from YouTube. It's just, who is he partnered with? But yeah, did I take that clip out of context of that 10-minute video where we saw like 2 to 3 minutes where Phil brings up his financial issues? He's got a new condo, he has to pay bills, but he also has a job, and then he's begging for his fans to give him money. This was just a prelude to the 16 years of e-begging that we got after this.
Never is it. It's never okay. Why do content creators have immunity? I just don't understand it.
Yeah, Phil, I don't understand it either. Why does this guy named Darkside Phil constantly beg and his fans always reward him for it? The only explanation, I think, is that the whales get a kick out of you begging, and they're like, okay, I'm not going to give you money until you beg.
I don't. I was never immune. Whenever I said and did something f***ed up back in the day, people put my balls over the coals for it. You know? Today, I'm still today having things brought up from 2010 that I said that was a joke.
Phil, it's because people don't see any redeeming qualities in you. They don't see anything likable in you. That's why. So everybody who liked you in the past is gone, and the only people you have left are the people that are there to troll you. They get a kick out of it. They enjoy seeing you rant and rage. That's why you have people constantly bringing this stuff up, because you feed the trolls. You give them a gourmet buffet every single day.
But, you know, I'm the devil for doing it. But these people daily do this. And it's okay, just because of who they are. There should be a standard across the board that we're all held to as content creators, a level of moral responsibility that if you're going to talk about something or someone, then basically you need to be sure that what you're saying is true.
Phil, what you don't get is that most people are presenting their opinion, and that you can just hand wave unless they have evidence to support their opinion. Like what I try to do is I try to find clips, or segments most of the time, where you beg and whine and complain, and then I say, this is why Phil's ungrateful. This is why Phil's an e-beggar. This is why Phil doesn't deserve any support. Don't you get it? That's not defaming you. That's just criticizing you. You can't handle that. Even a microscopic amount of criticism.
And this happens to me all the time. This is why this channel will not grow. I can't get a new fan base because every time that I have a chance to do something that might hit the algorithm or grow, someone dumps on me.
Here's the thing. It's always Tevin's fault. It is never Phil's responsibility for anything. Like, Phil doesn't get that 99% of the stuff he does is terrible for getting new viewers and keeping them. Like, I could tell Phil everything he shouldn't be doing and give him the recommendations on stuff he should do, and he'll just throw it back in my face, tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, Phil. He thinks that because he was able to successfully manipulate the YouTube algorithm back in the early days that he should be able to do it again. But here's the thing, the rules have changed, but he doesn't change with them. So he's stuck doing the same thing essentially as he was doing in 2009. The only difference is he's live streaming it so he can beg for your money when it's happening, because otherwise he wouldn't be able to do it. That's why nobody's watching, Phil, because your content is meandering. It's boring. Nobody has the patience to sit through a full 5-hour stream of your nonsense. That's why you have hundreds of clip channels out there, because they actually filter it to get to the parts that people want to see. And those are the parts that you don't really want to be highlighted, if we're honest.
And it's always for a clip from 2009 out of context. Now you're going to for that? Enough of this.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Phil's sentiment on that, because it is time to wrap this thing up. But the funny thing is, Phil said earlier that he wasn't gonna be canceled, but he's basically describing him being micro-canceled or just flattened where he is because of everybody bringing up stuff he did in the past. Phil, it's a pattern with you. That's why they show the evidence. That video from 2009 that I showed you shows that Phil has always been an e-beggar. That's the thing, man. You can't run from your past. You just have to move on from it. You have to learn. But you refuse to do that. You want to do the same long con every single time, and you're having your little therapy session with the 5 people who actually care. Alright? It's really stupid, man. 99% of the stuff you do is really stupid. It's not a huge deal. But you love to make mountains out of molehills. And that's what caused your demise, if we get to the real nitty-gritty about it. Alright, everybody. Thank you for watching Phil's Meltdown part 678 on May 1st, 2016. This is Robust turning off the station. Please like and subscribe on your way out, and the next episode of Familia DSP will be Phil learning how to do the laundry because Kat went and slept at a hotel for a week and he shrunk all of his shirts. That'll be fun.
Thank you to Bozzy, who did a super chat. Says, do you like videos? I don't know what that word means, so... This is ARS? What is ARS? USD. Wow. That's literally not even $1. Yeah, ARS is not even $1. So if I see ARS, oh, it's Argentinian. I'll just ban the guy right now because he's using a VPN, this guy. There you go. Enjoy your ban, you VPN. All right. This is the last match of the night, everyone. Let's go. Less than $50. Let's rally and get support for the final match.